the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight we are here with OP Racing Premier Superspeedway Series as they present the Throwback 250 in association with Butt Kicker. Qualifying has gotten underway. That means we have to hurry through our introductions, so my name will go unsaid, and we will throw it to Al Smith, who is up in the booth with me here tonight. Al, how are you doing, sir?
I'm not doing too bad, Care. Glad to be here down at the Talladega Superspeedway for what is exciting. Going to be the cross flags of the regular season here tonight. So this is race number 6, and I can tell you right now, a lot of great looking paint schemes out there. Not going to let the cat out of the bag yet, KR, but there are a lot of good looking race cars here tonight, like there always is with the OP's Premier Super Series.
Peter DeBorgia in the 40, one of the drivers running a throwback paint scheme. In fact, he did the paint jobs for his entire team, and they all have some movie throwbacks going on. And they're not the only ones that got some movie throwbacks going on. Yeah, a lot of throwback paint schemes here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be looking a lot really good out there. There was, from my understanding, no criteria on it. It was a throwback, so throwback to whatever made your way there. But that number 40 car, that brings you the memories back there with probably the most famous of the NASCAR movies.
Yes, some Days of Thunder there. The 12 is Zach Fritsch running a throwback paint scheme made famous by a car that had the number 8. This one's number 12. We won't hold it against him, but yeah, there you go.
Very good looking race car there. How about, well, Tyler Miller going to jump up to the top of the board right now. Now it's the Josh Milam in the 7. Time's coming in fast and furious here, and a lot of good looking race cars out there. Jim Mayer crossing the line. He's going to slide into that 6th position.
Jimmy Reynolds in the 17 goes across the tri-oval heading for the start-finish line. And the 17 of Reynolds, his throwback paint scheme is a throwback to the one he ran last week.
Well, he is the Dark Knight.
So he is in 11th spot, but he's not the only one out there qualifying. JD Crow in the 2 will make his way towards the start-finish line, and JD Crow crossing the line, putting himself up into the top 10 with a 9th place grab.
How about the 23, the rookie of Sebastian Marion, crossing the line and putting it P1 with a 53.78 seconds with his number 23. So that's top of the heap. Another driver getting up to speed right now is the Reynolds wrap, number 26 of Hunter Reynolds. He'll pull on the backstretch, just getting up to speed, KR. And how important is it to get through the gearbox, get up through the gears? You only got just the backstretch turns 3 and 4 to get up to speed before you take the green flag.
Yeah, you got to hustle this thing around, and they only get 1 lap to do their qualifying this season, as the 88 of Gabe Butler running a rowdy paint scheme from Days of Thunder. Still got his Guinness sponsor on there, but looks like the Exide car from Days of Thunder.
Exide.
Yeah, wasn't it Exide?
It was Exxon.
Oh,
Don't make me call Cole Trickle up. Get
that?
Rowdy
Oh,
Burns
you
down
know,
here.
Sorry, I was just listening to the Jeff Bodine and him talking about his X-Side.
Oh, how was that?
It was good.
I'll have to take a listen. Anyways.
Anyways, moving on past my shortcomings. Let me say they are short. Bob Lacavera in the 5. Throwback paint scheme to what he has ran here previously. The Lacavera drops down onto the apron, trying to cut that lap short, across the start finish line, and he moves into 28th spot. There are 32 drivers who have taken a lap time, as we have Tammy Helton and Fritchie stopping into YouTube chat and saying hello. Gabe
Richie's
Butler
already giving you the business.
I know. Seth Groover in the 02. Now, Al, I don't know about you, but this 02, I can't make out what it's a throwback to, if it's a throwback at all. It's definitely not our favorite Nintendo paint scheme.
It is not, but it does make me hungry for breakfast.
We'll get you some.
Maybe in the morning.
Okay, we'll wait.
Maybe while we're at the airport waiting to get the flight back to New York. I'm trying to. It is a nice looking paint scheme though. At first I thought maybe it was remember the Batmobile that Bill Elliott ran, but then there was no neon green on there, which we're used to seeing Seth with green. Let's see where that 02 just getting the green flag, so we'll see where the hills slide in. Looks like we got about 40 cars signed in here tonight, KR. So a pretty good crowd here at the Talladega Superspeedway for a throwback night.
Absolutely.
Jeffrey Crosby up on the racetrack right now with his Skull Bandit, and it is the color red this week.
It is. That's a throwback to what he ran 2 weeks ago. I like that red. I personally like that red coloring a lot better. To each their own, but that red coloring, I think that looks sharp on that car.
I do agree with you.
Mixmaster PJ chiming in on Seth Gruber's paint scheme. It's McMurray's McDonald's scheme.
All right.
So
I'm
Jeff
gonna take
Crosby,
his word for it.
Yeah, I am too. I don't doubt it, but I can't recall that paint scheme at all. So
I like it though.
Crosby into 15th spot. Seth Gruber falling to 16th because of that. Logan Helton, now the only other car out on the racetrack. Logan Helton having a nice little throwback paint scheme here as well. Al, this one looking very similar to a car in the modern era, if you will.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is a throwback to either a Casey Kane or a Bill Elliott Evernham Dodge. That's what it looks like to me. I know Bill ran one that had the white and the red on it, and I know Casey also did. So I'm going to go out and say it's a 50-50 chance it's one of them.
I agree. All right, with that being said, guys, we are going to step away for the national anthem. No one go anywhere. We'll be back with tonight's starting lineup.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as those drivers are taking to the grid for our 250-mile race here tonight. That means it is time to get into our starting lineup for this one. On the inside of row number 1, that is none other than Kevin Freeze in the 25 machine from Bootnaka Racing, the 53.766, just beating out Logan Helton, who is to his outside to complete row number 1. Row number 2, the 88 of Gabe Butler and the 23 of Sebastian Merritt. Row number 3 will be the 7 of Josh Milam and the 071 of Eric Laurie. Row number 4 will be Joe Della Vecchia and Tyler Miller. Row 5 will be Zach Workman and Zach Fritsch.
Rolling off in the 11th spot for Meteor Racing is the number 40 of Peter DeBorgia. Outside of him, from the Bootnaka camp, that is the number 2, the J Concepts entry of J.D. Crow. Mark Mann, the Batman, will start in spot number 13, and the 04 on the outside of him, the Alliance Motorsports entry of Jim Mayer. 15th will go to Anthony English with the Flat Out Motorsports number 44, and then starting on the outside of row number 8, will be the number 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Jeffrey Crosby Jr. will roll off 17th. Seth Gruber in that number 02 will roll off 18th. 19th will go to David Booth, and Les Levy will roll off 20th.
In row number 11, that's the 51 of Travis Elliott, and to his outside, the 00 of Rob Connors. Row number 12 will be the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds, and the outside of row 12, well, that's the 27 of Sean Stevens. Row number 13 will be Randall Cobb and Cody Ober. Row 14 will be Jeremy Funk and Dustin Barber. Row 15 will be the 21 of Daniel Holloway and Andy Brigante.
Rolling off 31st in the Buckwild entry, number 53, that is Dave Hunt, and outside of him, the number 82 of Dan Harrington. Doug Race will roll off 33rd in car number 35, and Bob Lacavera will roll off 34th. 35th will go to Sean McCarrick, and outside of him will be the number 3 of Alex Green. David Overstreet, it will roll off 37th with Rick Seabrans and Cody Eldred running out your 39 car field. 39 cars, KR 250 miles here on the Throwback 250 from the Talladega Superspeedway.
Oh, it's going to be an exciting one. So let's take a quick look at our race info for this one here tonight. So far this season, we've had 4 winners in 5 races. Josh Milam picking up the win last week, locking himself into playoff contention. Got that monkey off his back from the mistake he made in the race number 1 win that got encumbered. We do expect to see these guys having a 12 to 14 lap fuel run. Right now, we're looking at getting 5 drivers into the playoffs based off of points alone. And here tonight, we will have 1 fast repair for the field. So, stacked up 2x2, side by side. Kevin Freese and Sebastian Marin on the front row. Logan Helton missing the call to the grid as the green flag is out. We are underway here tonight for the Throwback 250. As Logan Helton gets onto the racetrack, he will be digging himself out of this hole here.
That he will be as they get up to the gearbox. It'll be Freeze jumping out to the race lead with that Terry Labonte 25 scheme. The Kellogg's Cornflakes down the backstretch, trying to get a good push there from the 88 of Butler. Lori runs there on the outside of the 071. That is the Mountain Dew Mellow Yellow sponsorship. That car familiar. If you're a Days of Thunder fan, that's the car that Cole Trickle drove to win at the end of the season. Hopefully they didn't spoil that out there for anybody. They roll off turn number 4 for the first time. Still 2x2, and we got a third lane starting to grow there. Looks like Gruber on the outside with a Jimmy McMurray throwback to that McDonald's scheme to come to the tri-oval.
Across the start-finish line they go, and it looks like maybe Kevin Freese leading that first lap of the race. I do want to point out, Al, I don't know if you've looked close enough at Eric Laurie's paint scheme, but it says John Deere on it.
It does say John Deere.
So he usually runs a green John Deere race car. Here, he's combined the two and kept the John Deere.
I like it. Now, a lot of people do that. Right now, he's leading my vote for the best throwback.
Well, there you go.
I like it.
Field making its way around the track some more. And boy, they are really laying down some quick lap times here as they get up to speed.
Yeah, we got a third lane starting to go on the outside. That is JD Pro rolling on the outside of the Speedway. And the last time we were here at the Talladega Superspeedway, it was at J Concepts number 2 going to Victory Lane. Out of the first 5 races, we've had 4 different winners, locking in 4 drivers into the playoffs here. This will be race number 6, Chaos, the halfway point, and it's going to be ever so important to get those stage points tonight and then try to lock yourself in with a win, because this back half of the regular season is going to end up being very, very tight come towards the playoffs. But right now, 3 wide of action. Curl going to drop down in front of Marion, as that will leave Jim Mayer being pushed by Cody Ober. And Ober been getting very quick the last few weeks, being consistent, starting to make a climb as he comes up through here on the outside. Outside line, though, doesn't have the numbers, as they'll fall back in the turn number 1.
So the front row has been fraught with action, and it is not the only place where everyone is mixing it up. A little bit deeper in the field, we look at the 21 of Daniel Holloway, bright yellowed race car. Those Nilla wafers, Nilla Nutter Butters? I don't know. I don't eat them. Do you eat them?
Whatever they are, they're good.
Well, there you go. Guess so. He's making his way forward. He's gained 3 positions, but one of our biggest movers from deep in the field, that is the 14 machine of Cody Eldred. He started dead last in this field, and he has made his way forward just a little bit as we start lap 5 of 94.
Yeah, already putting in 4 laps in that outside line. Starting there is Mayers will be able to drop down in front of the 26. How about Cody Ober up 16 spots, started 26, runs inside the top 10 as the field double files themselves down the back stretch. Everybody staying in line, minding their P's and Q's. Now it'll be Seth Gruber jumping out to the outside. He tries to go by Brigante. That's the battle for the 18th position.
Side by side, the racing continues, and now we have several drivers peeling off for pit road. Dustin Barber in the 6, just ahead of the 44 of Anthony English. Gabe Butler, Mark Mann, Eric Laurie, Zach Workman, Peter DeBorgia, David Booth, Travis Elliott, Randall Cobb, Dave Hunt, Doug Rice, Rick Searans, all on the pit road.
We'll see if anybody comes down this time as the Pat races off of turn number 2 and down the Talladega super stretch. Everybody's starting to get into that bottom line. I suspect we'll see another group of cars making their way down the pit road as Cody Ober gets tagged. And Cody Ober down in the grass. He'll wash up. Trouble down in the turn number 3. The 5 Lacavera has gone around. And there is still more contact. Yellow flag coming out. That all happened when Cody Ober tried to squeeze down the inside, got tagged in the left rear, got put down in the apron car and came right up, and everybody had to take evasive action.
Let's see if we can back this up and figure out what happened to the 9 of Cody Ober. Or I'm sorry, the 8 of Cody Ober. Tries to squeeze in front of the 00 of Rob Connors onto the grass, washes up Anthony English, Bob Lacavera, Jimmy Reynolds, David Overstreet, Alex Green, Cody Eldred. A lot of guys getting a little bit of damage off of this one.
The tough break there. Just trying to get his way down to the inside there, KR. Cody Ober just couldn't quite get down there. A little bit of contact, and well, everybody else had to take evasive action as the field is slowed up behind the pace car. And that's really going to work out for the drivers that hit pit road first. They can stay out this time, retain all that track position. And how about the 63 of Logan Helton? He's going to have to was able to catch that yellow flag without going down a lap. Remember, you saying at the beginning of the race, he started from pit road. That's really a saving grace for the driver of the 63.
Yes, it is. That caution come out just in time for him. So JD Crow onto pit road. These other drivers who had just hit pit lane, they might come out on top of this one as they're going to get that free position because they already made their pit stops. They won't have to come down pit road. One driver who has not pitted at all so far, that is the 12 of Zach Fritsch, and he's now scored as your race leader.
A nice looking paint scheme there. I know we're going to talk about a lot of paint schemes all night long. That number 12 looking very, very sharp. Familiar colors there on that number 12. 04, a Mark Man right there behind them as well.
Oh man, now I'm playing with my numbers here.
With your numbers?
Yeah, playing with my numbers. Doing some updates, ladies and gentlemen, to my fonts and whatnot, and I realized I missed one. That looks better.
I like it.
That looks better. All right, still need to get that title. Throwback 250 don't look right.
We'll get it.
We'll get it.
We'll get it. Rome wasn't built in a day.
No, apparently these broadcasts weren't either.
Well, we tried.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all fun.
It's all good.
So the 12 of Zach Fritsch, by virtue of not heading down pit road, is your race leader. Old Fritchie, he is one of our live streamers. We have several live streamers who participate week in and week out. Zach Fritsch is one of them. Dan Harrington, Peter DeBorgia. You can find those guys all on Twitch. And when Derek Conley is here, he streams on YouTube like us. Has that Fuel Rock stream going. But Conley going to be missing this week, and I believe 2 more. As he has got his work to do. His day job came calling.
I know how that is. 3 more weeks. What the email said today, KR.
You'll be fine now.
I don't know. I'm losing hair as the day goes by and it's getting gray.
I haven't noticed. All right, so lights are out on the pace car, bringing a close to our first caution of the night. Working lap 9 of 94, stage 1 going to end on lap 20, or the completion of lap 20.
You know what I noticed, KR?
Not yet.
That some people did not use their backup car. And you want to know why?
Is it stage 1?
Stage 1. And what else?
One fast repair?
That's right.
I can be taught.
Well, I was more or less checking myself. I was sitting there like, oh, I remember the rules. They're only allowed one extra car at Daytona and Talladega.
Gotcha. Well, 2 cars that are still on pit road, David Overstreet and Bob Lacavera. Bob Lacavera has been sitting on pit road for a very long time.
Yeah, Overstreet moving now with the, I think that's a Tony Stewart throwback with the old spice on that 46.
Very well could be.
So he's getting off of pit road. I believe he'll be at high speed when he catches the field. So field coming off turn number 4 might be a little bit back, but we'll be halfway through stage number 1, I believe.
Yeah, pretty close to it. Yep. Pace car down and away. Go for it, Al.
Well, let's see who gets up through the gearbox. It's going to be the number 12 of Zach Fritz. Crack in the top of the Bud can up front, and he'll jump on the gas pedal as the green flag comes out. A slow restart. The 04 of Mark Mann ready to go. He's going to jump out to the race lead. They head down here in the turn number 1. Everybody getting up through the gearboxes as they roar through the high banks of the Talladega Superspeedway. The sun tried to peek out. Now the cloud's rolling back in. It's going to pick up the speeds here. Extra grip on the speedways. We've already got him jumping out 3 wide. Mark Payne going to get put into the sandwich down the back stretch. He's got the 071, the John Deere. 071 of Lori up the back bumper. Let's see if they can push their way back towards the front. Right now it is Fritz showing the way. He's got Workman in that Hardy sponsored number 19 down to the inside. 3 by 3, they come off turn number 4.
3 wide racing here at Talladega. Plenty of room to get that done. That's 3 wide racing here at Talladega is no different than 2 wide at Daytona. So these guys got lots of room to work with this 3 wide. The 88 of Gabe Butler trying to make his way into the race lead. Zach Fritch trying to hold on to this lead, even though he has not made a pit stop. We'll see how well he can save fuel. That caution maybe could have got him to the end, but I don't know. That's a lot of fuel he's going to have to save.
That's a lot of saving. You're not saving much when you're out front being pushed. You're more through the floorboards, pouring that Budweiser down the carburetor, trying to get all you can as he's getting pushed out front now by that 19 of Workman, and that is a sharp-looking race car. Throwback to Russ Wheeler's Hardy's car.
Change my tires.
Something like that. Full trickle's working the outside. Oh wait, that's Peter DeBorgia, the number 40. DeBorgia with a good push. Here comes Travis Elliott. He's got the top line 5 cars deep. They're still 3 by 3. Do these boys know that this is only stage number 1?
Well, don't tell them, because they are flat out getting after it right now.
They are. Whoa, the boards are going to go from the top of the heap down to the bottom level. I thought that was going to be big right there. Not going to lie, as the boarder goes to the bottom, gets in front of Fritz. They work off of turn number 4 as they work down here in front of the fans in the tri-oval. Now, normally Daytona right here is where the start-finish line is. You got to go an extra 100 yards to get to that start-finish line right there. And that's going to be a difference maker here tonight here at the Talladega Superspeedway. You're going to have to make it all the way through the tri-oval if you want to win tonight.
They're still 3 wide, and anything can happen. Working lap 13 of 94, stage 1. Laps winding down for this one. Peter DeBorgia, Travis Elliott, and Gabe Butler, your 3 leaders in those 3 lanes. Sebastian Marin in the 23, pushing on the back bumper of the 51 of TJ Elliott. TJ running that high side. And that always made me feel the most comfortable was when I was up on the high side. And I wasn't a fan of being down on the bottom. You just felt like everyone was trying to crush down on you.
Yeah, well, they're going to go 4 wide across the straight. Travis Elliott gotten shuffled out to the outside. He's going to find a home behind the 95 of Jim Mayer. They're still 3 wide. That got real tight in a hurry. 3 wide, not a problem. 4 wide, well, that's a little bit tight. Josh Milam not liking what he's seeing in front of him. He drops down below that yellow line. It looks like he'll drop out of the lead pack draft here. So still 3 by 3 up front here as they work lap number 13 as they work here in turns 3 and 4. Before you the boards are getting a good push by Fritz, but the middle lane really doing well there with Mark Mann trying to make his day right there through behind the number 88 of Butler. Butler now going to be shown as your race leader. I believe it'll be Marin at the line being credited with your race lead.
Sebastian Marin, one of the drivers that we have seen score a ton of points. As we look at who has scored the most points in the last 3 races, Sebastian Marin on top of that with 138 points. But right now he does not have a win. He has not locked himself into playoff contention. But he has earned the most points in our standings of just point accumulation, wins not being counted in that. So he's having a great season despite the fact that he doesn't quite have that win just yet. But man, the way he keeps running, that win is coming sooner or later. As we look at our points, JD Crow, Joe Delavecchia, Josh Milam, and Zach Critch are 4 winners this season. Our 4 drivers will lock themselves into playoff contention once they get that minimum 9 race requirement. We're going to add another driver here tonight.
Potentially, as they work down the backstretch. I don't know, the car's starting to dance around now as the tires get worn out. Still 3 by 3, Marin on the outside. It'll be Butler in the middle and DeBorgia showing the way down on the bottom. Everybody stacked up, jammed up, and jelly tight off of turn number 4. It is still DeBorgia showing the way on the inside line. These boys really getting after it here tonight at the Talladega Superspeedway, putting on a show. And if you enjoy what you're seeing, hit that thumbs up there on the YouTube side. Let these drivers know you appreciate what they're doing. And I tell you, this is not as easy as they make it look.
No, it is not. And they sure do put on a show for us every single Monday night. If you guys would like to be part of OP Racing, the Monday night series is by invitation only, but they also run on Wednesday night and on Saturday night. Saturday nights are the trucks. Wednesday night they will run a series of the B class and the trucks. They'll do 3 stints in each car, and then it'll roll back into the other one. And that is being broadcast the Wednesday night, being broadcast over on Max Speed TV.
Good stuff going on with the OP Premier Series. They work off of turn number 2. Marin went from the top row down to the bottom side here. Is now a new player up on the front one. How about Travis Miller and Tyler Miller and that number 24 Guinness? Or I believe it's not Guinness. It is the Sturb entry. Roll on the outside. He's got the 26 of Reynolds on the back side. As the number 12 of Fritz, unfortunately going to have to come to pit road. KR was not able to make it to the end of the stage, and he's got some helpers coming down pit road as well.
Yeah, he's going to bring Logan Helton and Seth Gruber down on the pit lane with him. Do want to point out we do have an early exit, as it is the 2 laps to go here in stage number 1. But Bob Lacavera in the 5 is called it a night. He is done for here tonight. We hope to see him next Monday night, but an early exit for that number 5 machine.
Borgia now working the inside. Marion got shuffled up to that middle lane. They're still 3x3, 5 rows deep. Throw a blanket over them as they got about 20 cars right there in this lead Duke pack, all jostling for those top 10 positions to get the stage points. And Marion right there where he has been all season long up at the front of this one, KR. I don't think you are wrong. The driver has scored probably the most bonus points or stage points this season, and we do know that will not necessarily take a win to lock yourself into the playoffs, but a win will definitely make you race a little bit more comfortably over the next 6 races after tonight.
Yeah, 5 drivers are going to be getting in on points right now as things stand, and that number can only go up from here with each repeat winner. But here they come, final lap of stage number 1 onto the front stretch. Sebastian Merritt and Gabe Butler running side by side, nose to tail down through the tri-oval. One last shot, get that little bump you need. Sebastian Merritt at the line is going to win stage number 1.
And a photo finish right there to end stage number 1. Merritt going to add to that total. It's on the screen just a minute ago, so that'll be his 4th win of the season here for the stages. Everybody will slow up off of the corner, let the pace car on by. But Sebastian Merritt gonna do it again, KR, and his driver knows how to stay up front. We've talked about it time and time again. Just has not been able to close the deal out, but it's gonna happen sooner than later for the rookie driver this season.
Oh, absolutely. Sebastian almost always starting on the front row and then having the most stage wins, now making it 4 stage wins already this season when everyone else just has 1. So this young man really putting a hurting on these drivers in point accumulation and stage wins. So I'll tell you what, everyone better stand ready for this 23, because I have a feeling once he gets a win, they're going to kind of start rolling in.
Yeah, he's definitely shown promise and is willing to work with the teammates, and we all know how important your teammates are when it comes to super speedway racing. And these teams, they're not just single car efforts out there, multiple team members, and they're except, well, tonight the Groover House Racing entry, just their only one. We're missing them. You know, Patrick Groover, but we'll see him next week, hopefully.
Hopefully. So the 23 on the pit road, Zach Fritsch and Logan Helton. We'll see if they're going to come down pit lane. They were on pit road not too long ago. Or if they're going to stay out. And it does look like Logan Helton in the 63 has stayed out. I don't think he's going to beat Sebastian Merritt to the front. Sebastian Merritt clearing the cone before Logan Helton could get out. But that being said, let's take a moment and let's talk to our stage 1 winner, the driver of the 63 from Bootnaka Racing. Sebastian, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, Team Bootnaka adding some more points to your all's accumulation already. And Sebastian, that 23 looking very fast, winning stage number 1.
Yeah, that was the plan. Obviously, that first yellow coming out kind of shuffled a bit to the mid pack. So I was just trying to get to the front as soon as I could, and I got there, and I knew there were some teammates trying to play, some tricks. So I kind of had to shuffle it up. That's why I went middle. I was trying to control the field. And luckily, I beat out Gabe coming to the line, and I got me some more points.
Well, man, this 23 is always fast, and here at Talladega, the halfway point of this season, how would you say your rookie season is going?
I'd say it's going pretty good. Obviously, I don't have a win yet, but looking at the point standings, and I'm currently leading them, I'd say my season has been pretty good. A lot of stage wins, just need to be there at the end for these races. I feel like I could lead a lot, but then right at the end I get involved in a wreck or I take myself out. And yeah, so that's the goal at least before the season ends, for the win.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on winning stage number 1. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to my teammates, Kevin, JD, and Joe, being there and helping each other out. Especially Joe and JD, knowing that they already got wins in. Their main focus is to get me and Kevin a win to secure our spot. So I want to thank them for sure.
All right, Sebastian, we'll tell Team Bootnaka that y'all are doing a great job, even though we don't talk about y'all a whole lot.
Thanks, man. I'll tell them for sure.
That's Sebastian Marin, Team Bootnaka. Another stage win for that young man.
And he's showing a lot of confidence and has a lot of confidence in that car here tonight. So we'll see if he can do it again. Stage number 2 will end on what lap, KR?
This one will end at the completion of lap 40.
I showed up early and I went and got popcorn.
Popcorn. I love popcorn.
And then I didn't write down the notes. I have to ask you. So there we go, lap 40. So the intensity will probably ratchet up like it does each and every week as we get closer and closer to the end of this one.
Yeah, it's going to stage 2 could go either way. These drivers, they either all settle in for stage 2 and we'll go from flag to flag for the second stage, or it tends to go the other way and we get only a handful of laps in before we decide to start turning into a demolition derby. For the most part, we do a good job here in the second stage of just riding around and logging some laps.
Yeah, that's right. Got to be there at the end. A lot of these drivers not using their backup car yet, still have it on the back side of the trailer. They've knocked out the dents. It's the pace car getting ready to pull into the pit road. That means we're going to start stage number 2 here momentarily.
A little bit of housekeeping. Seth Groover in the 02 has gone behind the wall. It looks like his night is done here. So 2 cars out of this race. We started 39. 37 of them are still running, and those 37 are still on the lead lap as Sebastian Marin and Gabe Butler are going to pick up the battle that they left off at the end of the stage. Side by side, we head into turn number 1. Peter DeBorgia in the 40, pushing on the 23 is Sebastian Marin. Those two getting hooked up early, and you can see just how important it is to try and get hooked up as quickly as possible because that inside line really surged ahead through the corner.
Then you saw the 63 of Hell and have to check up. That backs the inside line up, and here comes the Butler with a head of steam being pushed by the 24 of Miller. Miller pushing the 88 of Butler to the race lead as they enter turns 3 and 4. Right down the outside is Workman along with Lori. And that is your top 4 cars in the outside line. Now it'll be Butler making a hard left-hand turn to get down to the inside, giving Miller to run to the outside. And I believe at the line, Miller will lead that lap.
Tyler Miller in the 24 leading that lap. Gabe Butler on the inside, not able to squeeze ahead until he gets to the corner. Check in on a few of our other drivers here. Alex Green in the 3, one of our biggest movers. He is up 18 positions from where he started in tonight's race. But our biggest mover of the night so far, that is the 53 of Dave Hunt. He has gained 25 spots, and he is the 3rd car in the outside lane.
Yeah, working outside there, doing a pretty good job with the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University sponsored number 53, and He's putting a good flight in so far in this early one as he's cracking the top 5 KR.
That he is, and that Instacart by Zach Workman just ahead of him. Russ Wheeler throwback paint scheme. We ride on board with the 53 of Dave Hunt down the Talladega super stretch. And at these speeds, I'll tell you, it doesn't feel necessarily like it is a 2.66 mile track when you're going as fast as you are. But man, the corners come up quick.
They do come up very quick for this draft. Right now, their top speeds reaching 190 plus miles an hour. That is moving around this Talladega Superspeedway. And you're going to see how much the car is dancing through that tri-oval. The car gets really light there, so you got to be careful to breathe, not just get into someone. That can cause a really big stack up or even a big mess. They're doing a good job so far here tonight, making it all work. Is the outside line starting to break apart a little bit, as it'll be the 24 of Miller backing up to the 53 of Dave Hunt.
So Dave Hunt in the 53 in the top 5. I do want to give a shout out to Jimmy Crow and UK. The K, Mackie, I don't know. Drivers are on to pit road now, as we're at that fuel window for the end of stage number 2. Anyways, thank you very much, guys, for coming in and saying hello in YouTube chat. Hope you guys stick around for the whole show.
Great racing so far. Just tuning on in, there was Sebastian Marin in that 23, picking up stage number 1. We're in stage number 2 for the Throwback 250 here. We're round number 6 for the OP Superspeedway series here on Monday nights on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and the racing hot and heavy towards the front of this one. How about the 25? Started some up front early on. They are now back inside the top 10. That's the 25 of Kevin Freese.
Yeah, Kevin started at the front row, fell back, and now he is working his way forward once again. At 25, just cracking the top 10. No one else coming down pit road that time. With all that going on, the 53 has become a race leader.
Yeah, Dave Hunt out on the front of this one. An astonishing 30 spots moved since the start of this one. So started all the way near the back side of the field, worked his way up to the front. As now Connors going to take the race lead. Rob Connors, a name that I haven't called much this season. He's up at the front of this one, a veteran. Here's he works off the corner. He'll lead down the front stretch. Everybody's still staying out. No takers to pit road this time.
So the big pack not hitting pit road just yet. We still had those guys come down pit road on lap 27. That was led by Gabe Butler and Zach Workman, Peter DeBorgia. We'll check in on how they are doing as they have formed up a line. Eric Laurie right there with them. That 4-car group are all teammates. They are Meteor Racing. That was stumbling over the name for some reason. So those 4 have hooked up. They have hit pit road. Dan Harrington would complete the 5-car team. But Dan Harrington running down the order in a 37th spot. He is 2.5 seconds behind. He has lost the lead draft. He has lost the draft of his helpers. And he's going to try and get a caution here before he can get into this one before the end of the stage.
Well, the way that they're starting the race here would not surprise me. How about the number 17 of Jimmy Reynolds working the outside, the Dark Knight, starting to slice up through the field with the number 12 of Fritzy right there behind them as well, working the outside line. Those 2 drivers really working the outside line well, and then moving up through the field quick as they work on the outside of Bora to that number 6 automobile.
Side by side, close racing between the 3 of Alex Green and the 24 of Tyler Miller. Jimmy Reynolds in the 17, the 12 of Zach Fritch, and the 50 of Sean McCarrick. McCarrick in that 50 machine, a solo car effort here tonight. He is running without the assistance of any teammates. We'll see how well he can do. That 50 can work his way forward here in this outside lane with Reynolds and Fritchie.
A lot of good racing going on here. How about the 50 of McCarrick right there as well? You were just talking about KR, the 21 in the middle. But still, everybody's staying out here. They're going to have 8 laps to go in stage number 2. Can they make it on fuel? I think they're going to have to stop.
They should have to make one pit stop here. The fuel is always a bit close here in stage number 2 because the overlap of the end of stage 1 does give it just enough of a tantalizing effort to hit pit road or not hit pit road. That is the question.
That is the question. Oh, tight corners. And McCarrick really side draft to the side of the 7 of Milo. He got out of shape. That caused a Barber to jump out of the gas, and he got shuffled up to the outside line, breaking momentum, and still no takers to pit road that time. As the inside being led by Rob Connors, Dave Hunt right there tucked up behind him. The middle line, though, has the 52, and it is the Buck Wild Racing number 52 of Randall Cobb. He's up 22 spots, so a lot of comers and goers so far early on in this race as we close in towards the end of stage number 2. Here comes Jimmy Reynolds on the outside with that black number 17, the Dark Knight, trying to rise once again.
Gonna have 6 laps to go this time around in stage number 2. Rob Connors in the 00 representing Checkered Flag Motorsports out in front with the 53 of Dave Hunt right behind him. Hunt from Buck Wild Racing. Those two running nose to tail. Buck Wild's got 2 cars running side by side. Could they hook up and push each other to a stage win?
It is going to be right down to the wire. 6 laps to go, make it 5.5 as they come down the backstretch. And 3 by 3, about 6 rows deep as they push and shove each other down the backstretch. That outside line getting pushed by the 12 of Zach Fritz. And it is the middle line with Randall Cobb. He's got the Hunter Reynolds, number 26, pushing him. Even rows there, KR. The bottom line has more cars, but it seems like it doesn't quite matter. The outside line and the middle line seem to have the momentum. Who's it going to be at the line?
At the line, it looked like Randall Cobb in the 52 leading that lap. As he is out in front, the lap's winding down for stage number 2. Josh Milam in the 7. Finding himself in the middle of this. He has his teammate just ahead of him. That's the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. We know what FSR can do when they get out in front, when they get hooked up as a team. And they are kind of forming up. 2 of them right there. This is about to get a little bit hectic.
It is going to be hectic. We'll see if we have any takers this time off a turn number 4 to come to pit road. And everybody's team's committed to staying out as they come across the line past Trioval here. Randall Cobb with the nose out front. He'll lead this lap at the line. Hunter Reynolds, or Jimmy Reynolds with that 17 getting a good push on the outside though. The inside line starting to break up a little bit, and the middle line starting to push to the front. Randall Cobb has the car way out front. He is the sole leader of this one. Hunter Reynolds giving him a good shove down the backstretch.
So the 52 of Randall Cobb holding off the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Now FSR making a move to the outside.
Yeah, gonna leave that Buckwild Racing 52 to the middle. He'll get pushed back to the 25 of Freeze. Is Hunter Reynolds going to go to the point this time by at the stripe? Don't look now, but the winner of stage number 1. Oh, tight quarters, maybe some paint spot between Randall Cobb and the 26 of Reynolds, as they got very, very tight, and that could have been very disastrous for the field, as they are still 3x3. This shows you how good of a drivers we have here on Monday night. White-knuckled racing, 3x3 around the Talladega Superspeedway, and they're making it look like they're just out for a Sunday drive.
Yeah, they sure are. And right now, we're getting into some lap traffic. Dan Harrington in the 82, about ready to be swallowed up by this pack. That 82 right now going to drop down to the inside. And he is going to slow up and let the field on by. He is going to go one lap down. David Overstreet, Logan Helton on the pit road. David Overstreet making his way off of pit lanes. So some of these drivers who tried to stretch their fuel, not able to make it as we're coming up to the end of the stage.
Yeah, just 2 laps to go this time by. It'll be the unofficial white flag at stage number 1, or stage number 2, correct, KR?
Stage number 2. Oh, Cobb able to hold on to it.
Oh,
Jimmy Reynolds goes around.
Big trouble at the front of the field, and it is going to be who can snake through it as the yellow flag will come out. And not sure who was out in front.
I believe Randall Cobb and Rob Connors were going at it, but I'm not sure which one's going to get the stage win.
We talked about how the pushing and the shoving was getting just more and more. Something had to give. A bunch of good cars, though. Okay, I got torn up there at the end of that stage.
Yeah, heavy impact for the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Jimmy Reynolds in the 17 getting turned around as well. Take a look and see what happened to the 26. 2 separate incidents right there. Jimmy Reynolds about 4 rows behind Hunter Reynolds. Both cars getting involved in a crash at the same time in different parts of the corner.
And everybody's just scattering at that point. Mark Mann making hard contact with the inside safer barrier along with JD Crow. Thank God for the safer barrier down there. Hard impacts right there off turn number 4.
Everyone able to keep rolling. And Rob Connors, your stage 2 winner, unofficially, as he was the first one on the pit road.
The good stage number 2 for Checkered Flag Motorsports. Picking up the win. Travis Elliott sliding through his pit box as the 00 down and away already. Everybody coming to pit road.
Dan Harrington going to get the free pass. And so let's get a quick word in with our stage 2 winner. That driver is the 00 of Rob Connors from Checkered Flag Motorsports. Rob, congratulations on the stage win.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Man, oh man, I'll tell you what, that's some hard racing at the front of the field between the 00, the 52, the 26, everybody up there. Good, hard, close racing. What was it like for you?
Well, that's my first stage win, so it was pretty exciting.
Well, nice job. Congratulations on that. I thought maybe you already had one, but I think you'd know more than I would.
Yeah, that was great, man. Thanks.
All right, Rob. Well, a solid effort for you here tonight. Al has a few more questions for you. I'm going to let Al ask them.
I have a few more questions for him. We're going to see this 00 in victory lane here, Rob. You're looking very fast here tonight. What's it going to take to stay up front here and take it home as we head into our third and final stage?
Well, I've been gone for about a couple of weeks, so I just got my new steering box fixed, so I'm hoping maybe that'll give me a little edge, maybe.
Give you a little good luck there. Always good to have some fresh equipment underneath you here. But man, what a great front stage. But let's talk about how crazy has the racing been here in the first two stages.
It's been crazy. I mean, we was only a half a lap and we was 3 wide, 4 wide. Pretty intense out here.
Definitely an intense set of racing out here. Well, we wish you the best of luck here in stage number 2. Anybody you got to give a thank you to as you lead here underneath this yellow flag?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my teammates, Levy Designs. He put the graphics on this car and looking good.
Well, good luck here in stage number 2. KR, any further follow-up questions that I might have missed?
No, I think we got it. Once again, Rob, congratulations on the stage 2 win. All right, there you go. Stage 2 winner, Rob Connors, his first stage win. So congratulations on that. I thought he had one already, but maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Obviously, I'm thinking of someone else.
Nice in his veins too, Garrett. Didn't even seem. Just seems like he's nice and relaxed and not overly excited. Keeping the head on there. A lot of racing left to go though. Just over 50 laps left to go here in this Throwback 250 at the Talladega Superspeedway. And if history has shown us in the first 5 weeks, if you thought that was exciting, it's only going to get more exciting.
Yeah, and it is our final stage of the night, getting ready to fire off. As I mentioned, Dan Harrington did get the free pass. David Overstreet, the only car not on the lead lap right now. Seth Gruber and Bob Lacavera out of the race. The 37 cars still in this race, 36 on the lead lap.
Seth Gruber had gone to the house along with Bob Lacavera, so those are our only 2 cars behind the wall. Tough break for those 2 drivers.
Field is stacked up 2 by 2, side by side, nose to tail, all nice and purty. The 00 of Rob Connors and the 8 of Cody Ober on the front row for this restart. There's the 26 of Hunter Reynolds and the 35 of Doug Rice for row number 2. And then the 3rd row for this restart, the 12 of Zach Fritsch and Sean McCarrick in the 50. Your 3rd row for the restart as they bring that slow, agonizing weight to the green flag through the tri-oval. Connors, Ober, green flag is out, and Cody Ober gonna get a good launch and take off to the early lead. Doug Rice not able to get to his back bumper just yet. The Hunter Reynolds 26 machine already all over the back bumper of the 00.
Yeah, they were really stacked up, ready to go, and we saw a little bit of a gap between the number 8 of Ober and the 35 of Rice. Now Rice gonna swing to the outside, leaving Cody Ober to the middle. The 50 McCarrick's gonna now decide to go to the middle lane as Hunter Reynolds takes the pit clear race lead. Side by side at the front of this one as he's got the number 3 of Alex Green. Right to the backside, Hunter Reynolds and Rob Connors. Good drag race it off of turn number 4.
Riding on board with the 12 of Zach Fritsch as Connors and Reynolds head through the tri-oval. Going to complete lap 43 and start lap 44. 94 laps are scheduled distance. We will use 2 attempts at a green-white checkered if we need to.
Everybody doing a good job now, getting stacked back up here, still side by side at the front of this one. Logan Helton has made his way back to the front with that Nexus Esports number 63, with the Hunter Reynolds car being in front of him as they shoved themselves down here on the front stretch. It'll be Hunter Reynolds putting the Ford out in the front of this one.
Logan Helton in the 63, who's been trying to work his way forward all race long, finds himself as the second car in the outside lane. So that's 63. Another driver to always keep an eye on because he finds a way to the front. Logan Helton not having a race win yet this season, but still having a great season. Comes into tonight second place in total point accumulation.
They're doing a good job. They're able to doing, like we said, 5 drivers will make their way. At least 5 drivers will make to point their way in. So even if you don't win there, those points mean a lot, and we know how much these stage points have been toiling up. We talked about it earlier on with the 23 of Sebastian Marion about how his points have accumulated so far this season, outpointing almost everybody in the last 3 races by double digits. So the points mean something just as much as winning does, as Logan Helton will take the lead with a great push by Cody Ober.
Helton gonna dive down to the bottom. He brings Ober in the 8 with him. Hunter Reynolds already on the bottom. Alex Green up 32 spots to now be the lead car in the middle lane. That changes very quickly as the 26 of Reynolds jumps up to the middle lane.
And the outside, the Buck Wild 52 Randall Cobb getting a great shove, getting a monster shove from the 51 of Travis Elliott as he works in the turns 3 and 4. The outside line really moving. Look at who's out up there. How about the number 13 of Andy Brigante with that Lamborghini sponsored number 13. He's working the outside line. He's got Travis Elliott right there in front of him. He's got Tyler Miller in the 24 working there. So 5 fast cars working the extreme high side of the speedway. They are making some ground up here. Now Logan Helton has no help trying to side draft off the side of Cobb. Now sucked back down to the inside, trying to do the same thing on the 26 Hunter Reynolds. A new race leader. The Bucks have gone wild with Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb in the 52, your race leader. He's going to be our second Buck Wild Racing driver to lead here tonight. He was challenging earlier at the end of stage 2. But Dave Hunt in the 53 and the 52 of Randall Cobb both getting out in front for Buck Wild Racing.
They are still 3 wide, make it 4 wide at the line. Brigante on the outside line getting shuffled out. Logan Helton's going to go from the middle floor all the way down to the basement right in front of Hunter Reynolds as they will swoop by the 52 of Randall Cobb at the front of this one. So much action, not sure where to look as the 35 of Doug Rice starting to make his way back up to the front as well, as he's got the number 6 of Barber. We're giving him a good push down the back stretch.
Check back on some of our drivers further in the field. The Instacart 19, that is Zach Workman. The 82 Demon Tech Machine, that is Dan Harrington. They're running 27th and 28th right now. The 27 machine of Sean Stevens just ahead. Stevens running right where he is qualified. He has been at the back of the pack here, riding around looking like he is maybe one of the drivers who's just trying to play it safe and log laps and stay in the lead draft, but towards the tail end of it.
Yeah, definitely back there along with the JD Crow automobile. Mark Man. But now some of these drivers care. They're out of their backup cars, so maybe playing it just a little bit on the safe side. Like you said, we are working lap number 49 out of the 94, so plenty of time left to go. They are still in that lead draft, just not up there where they can kind of back out of it and not worry about getting ran over, being involved in a wreck if it were to happen. And the way these guys are racing up at the front of this one, well, it's only going to be a matter of time as they are side drafting each other, pushing each other. They're doing everything but pulling hair and eye gouging.
Yeah, and if you give them enough incentive, that hair pulling and eye gouging will take center stage.
No words.
All right, so 3 wide. Once again, we've been battling 3 wide for a while. I mentioned Talladega, plenty of room for it, and they'll will continue to do it all night long. But one driver we haven't talked too much about, he is making some moves forward. That is the driver currently in the outside lane, the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. As he is up into the wall, he and Sean McCarrick make contact. McCarrick going around, looks like to collect Andy Brigante, Anthony English. Sean Stevens getting involved, and the yellow flag going to come out.
We cursed him.
We did. Oops. Let's take a look and see what happened here. McCarrick getting together with the 33. Jeremy Funk, Andy Brigante, Anthony English, all getting involved.
Tore up some good race cars right there, Kara. They were 4 wide, it looks like, when that happened.
Yeah, the 50 just kind of works his way up. Not sure if he was losing the front end of that car, but pushes his way up into the 33. Jeremy Funk involved. Dan Harrington, Zach Workman, Daniel Holloway. Looked like he was able to get on the binders before he made any heavy contact. But a lot of good race cars torn up on that one. The 33 looks like he got quite a bit of damage.
You're not sure how many of those drivers have the backup cars left, so could make it a long rest of the night trying to get some points. And I'm unsure, did Overstreet get through that without getting into any incident points? If he did, then he'll get that free pass.
Well, we'll find out when they come down pit road. He is the only car not on the lead lap.
Looks like he's got some front end damage and he's coming down pit road right now.
On the pit lane. Flagman furiously waving that yellow flag.
You think his arm gets tired?
I don't know, but man, he really gets after it.
Yeah, we got a heck of a gym regimen.
Cody Over winning the race off of pit road. Travis Elliott, Randall Cobb, Logan Hutton, and Zach Fritsch round out your top 5 for the race off of pit road. Big shout out to none other than Roger Moot, wanting to know if we can pull his hair.
Well, it's sunny. It's not sunny, so at least we don't need our sunglasses since he's in the crowd. I better behave. He's coming up to see me, KR.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yes. One time I'm gonna go to New York and host a event.
Yeah.
We set the world on fire.
We did. We had.
Whoops.
That was a hell of a year, KR. I'm not gonna lie to you. We started off with an earthquake, then the COVID hit, then we had tornadoes in upstate New York. It was a wild 2019.
Listen, I know when not to come up and MC a special event. You don't have to keep sending bad weather and plague-like conditions.
Yeah.
A simple no, KR. Don't do it. It'd been fine.
Well, we were looking forward to having you. Then the bottom of the world fell out.
Those of you who don't know, Al Smith, not only a broadcaster here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, but also a league owner. Runs Upstate Racing League, a very well established super late model pavement scrub
A lot
type
different
deal.
than this.
A lot different, but he also runs what else do you do? Al, tell us a little bit about the Upstate Racing League.
Yeah, we run that. We run the big block the big block modifieds with our league. So we'll be headed in our 3rd season of that. But yeah, proud member of the Turn 3 Racing posse, and glad to have everybody on board that watches us there, just like you guys watch here on the OP Premier Series. And well, right now we're in our off season, so I get to come out and have fun and get in the booth with people like KR and Roger and do a couple myself. So Roger was razzing me today, KR.
Uh-oh.
He asked me what exactly I do. And I said, I don't know. I just stand in the corner and take up space. That's what I told him.
Well, at least that's something.
It's true.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, Roger just put a tidbit saying that you guys met in Tulsa 1 week before the COVID hit.
That is true.
I want to get down there so bad.
We did. We hung out for several days at the Tulsa Expo Center for the Chili Bowl.
Did you eat any chili?
I did not.
All right. Did you get a golden driller?
I did not.
I think we should get a GoFundMe page for you, KR, so that way you could go down and try to win yourself a golden driller. Because those that don't know, KR races the micro sprints. Is that a technical word for them?
Micro sprint, mini sprint. Yep.
Mini sprint.
Sure do.
Does that during the summertime? Coming up.
It's one. Yeah. Yep. It's about 1 month away.
If it ever stops being cold.
Yeah. As long as it's not raining. Either way, the lights have gone out on the safety car here. It's going to head for pit road. Cody Ober, TJ Elliott, Randall Cobb, Logan Helton, Zach Fritsch, and Hunter Reynolds, your first 3 rows for the restart. Al, these guys, everyone looking like they're trying to get antsy, trying to get a little bit of that early bump and run going under yellow here. But as we head through the tribal and the green flag drops, we're going to get back underway. Lap 55 of our 94-lap race. Going to see that green flag back out.
Yeah, it's just 40 laps of racing. I believe we can make it in one more stop if it goes the scheduled distance. You probably will need a little bit extra fuel than that to make it the rest of the way, just a little bit there. But how about Logan Helton giving a heck of a push to the 53 of Travis Elliott, and Elliott's gonna put that 51 Monster Energy drink sponsored car out to the race leader. But here comes Hunter Reynolds. Reynolds gonna take a peek to the inside. Now we'll go to the middle line behind Helton as they leave Elliott out to dry.
Elliott in the 51 can only watch as the 2 cars in the outside lane motor right on by. He has to wait till he gets to the front bumper of the 8 of Cody Ober. Meanwhile, Reynolds and Helton out in front. They don't quite slide down just yet. They gradually saunter down towards the yellow line.
They do. They get down there, and now Elliott's going to jump back up in front of Miller. Miller leaving the outside line till then. Cody Ober's going to go to the inside. Here comes Randall Cobb. He's looking real racy so far here tonight, being up inside the top 10 all race long. Now, Reynolds to the outside, going to get pushed by the outside of the 63 of Helton. Helton got a shot to the rear bumper from the 8 of Cody Ober as they still run door to door off of turn number 4. 2 even rows of 2, and Andy Briganti way out back trying to get the outside line started. Nobody's going to go with him. He's going to have to fall in line once he can.
Side by side, it's been a minute since they have been 2 wide. 3 wide racing has been the norm here at Talladega, so a little extra room at the front of the field, and they're taking full advantage of that by mixing things up very aggressively. Third lane is starting to develop, but nothing too serious. The 77 of David Booth in that third lane all by himself. Looks like he's going to try and blend in behind the 25 of Kevin Fries.
They will get in back there, and that is back around the... Well, he keeps jumping around the 20th position there as they work down there in the front straightaway. 2 by 2. Jimmy Reynolds starting to work his way back up towards the front of that all black number 17. They are still 2 by 2 all the way around the speedway. Dave Hunt working up there. He's got the 82 of Dan Harrington. He's been quiet here tonight. Harrington starting to make a move towards the front. He's got Ricky Bobby right there behind him in the form of Les Levy in that number 62 automobile. And Levy got such a good run. He's going to jump to the outside around Harrington. Can he complete the pass with the squeeze back down? Nobody going to go with Levy yet on the outside is that third lane. No one's just willing to go there after this restart.
Yeah, Les Levy in the 62 getting hung out to dry a little bit here in that third lane, and so he will begin falling back. Meanwhile, Logan Helton in the 63 making a move to the outside of the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Fastest lap of the race just got turned that time around by the 40 of Peter DeBorgia. He turns a 49.3 here at Talladega.
That is moving the mail, mister.
So DeBorgia finding himself at the tail end of this field. Running 35th, Mark Mann in a dirt Harry paint scheme. In 35th spot, Anthony English in the 44 down on the apron. Looks like, not sure what happened to Anthony English that had him down on the apron.
Not really sure what happened to the number 44. Good to see that paint scheme down. I believe that was a throwback to the late Adam Petty.
Was it?
I think so. I think Kyle Petty ran that car as well. Roger would know.
Roger knows everything.
He's a human statistician. I'm pretty sure. Don't go to the bank on it. I'm pretty sure that was a paint scheme that late Adam Petty ran. And Kyle as well. They're still 2 by 2 at the front of this one as they are pushing and shoving each other. Don't be disturbed. Then it's only Miller running there in the second on the outside line. Is the 51 of Travis Elliott trying to work in front with the Nexus Esports number 63 of Logan Helton really working the bottom line with Hunter Reynolds. The outside gets a great momentum, but then gets back in the corner, and that inside line just really works the bottom yellow line, gets back out front, and then the outside with the momentum and the pushing, they'll get pulled right back up even. So really even line so far, 2 by 2. The 00 of Rob Connor's going to try to peek to the outside. Couldn't quite make anything happen that time with that checker flag motorsports 00. He's got Josh Milam, last week's winner from the iRacing Superspeedway, right there tucked up behind him as well. So the cream of the crop starting to rise as, whoa, one car out of shape. That was the 14. Got out of shape that time off the corner and keeps it in line.
Going on board, with the 95 of Jim Mayer. Zach Workman just ahead of him. David Booth, Kevin Fries to his outside. We're creeping up on the next round of green flag pit stops. Most of this field last on pit road on lap 52. We're working a lap 63. And so the thoughts of getting into position for what could be our first round of green flag pit stops. We'll start seeing these guys try and migrate down to the bottom. It can be tricky to hit pit lane if you're stuck in that third lane like JD Crow and Cody Eldred are right now.
Yeah, they're up there in no man's land. The three of those, they got Andy Brigante and that Lamborghini number 13 right there behind them as well. Those three drivers are going to have to make some moves, or once the pack kind of breaks up here and goes into those pit stops, then be able to work their way down. But right now they are stuck. Kevin Freeze in that number 25 working underneath them. They've got the 77 of David Booth as well.
Booth just ahead of the 6 of Dustin Barber. Barber, one of the drivers from Fuel Sim Racing. Well down the order. Right now he is in 27th. And when we say well down the order, we don't mean that in any sort of disrespect. A lot of cars between him and the leader. However, if you look at the time between he and the leader, it's only 1.3 seconds.
Yeah, blink of an eye, they'll be up front there once again. That's how the Superspeedway racing happens. Is David Overstreet has taken the 46 to pit road. So a tough break for the 46. Meanwhile, up front, things starting to quiet down. Top three cars single filing it up. It is Hunter Reynolds at the top, then Logan Helton, the 8 of Ober, and Travis Elliott, your top 4 cars. Then it's back to side-by-side action with Tyler Miller rounding out your top 5. He's got Randall Cobb out dancing on the right door panel of that disturbed number 24. The number 12 of Fritz starting to make his way back towards the front. And how about that number 3, the Advanced Auto Parts? Number 3, throwback to, I believe that looks like the old Good Wreck number 3 of Dale Earnhardt paint scheme. That car looking very nice out there on the racetrack for Alex Green. Trying to have a good showing here tonight.
Alex Green has that car tucked in tight behind the 52. The stage 2 winner and first time stage winner, Rob Connors, right behind the 3 of Alex Green, then the 53 of Dave Hunt. That is your second lane. And now I just mentioned everyone's going to start trying to work their way down to the bottom. And that inside lane is starting to get very long. Second lane, not nearly as long, and that third lane just has one lone car in it.
Yeah, JD Crow really working the extreme outside of the speedway, trying to make something happen. Now we'll tuck it back line. Andy Brigante down to the inside. But everybody trying to make their way to the inside. I think when it happens, KR, we're going to have a lot of action down on pit road. And you're going to go from 190 plus miles an hour down to 60 miles an hour for pit road speed here tonight at the Talladega Superspeedway. And they're going to work their brakes out pretty good. And not only that, you have to worry about getting ran over, not speeding at the line at all on pit road. Because if you get a pit road speeding penalty now, you might as well kiss your race goodbye unless we get a yellow flag.
Do want to say that David Overstreet has gone directly behind the wall. His night is done and over with. Scorecard pulled, so 3 drivers out of the race here so far.
"39 drivers started. We have 36 left on the racetrack. Anthony English runs in that 36th position, 1 lap in the arrears. Are on the very tail end of it. Leaders will be coming up on him very quickly down here on the backstretch. You see him right now. He'll work the outside. The leaders will go underneath them as they are working lap number 68 into turn number 3.
So the 26 of Hunter Reynolds out in front. Last time on pit road on lap 52. Nobody making that break for pit lane. We'll see them hit pit road here in the next few laps. That second row really starting to fizzle out. Rob Connors, Randall Cobb, Alex Green, Dan Harrington leading the first 4 cars of that second lane. Big old snake down on that yellow line though.
Yeah, everybody just waiting to see. It's kind of a game of chess right now. When will someone be the pawn to move to pit road that'll trigger everybody else coming to pit road? Bill Reynolds out on the front of this one, but the action is pretty heated back here from 15th on back. Dan Harrington working the outside. He's got JD Crow. The last time we've been to Talladega Superspeedway, Crow was in victory lane. Now some cars starting to peel off. We've got a handful of cars coming to pit road being led by the 26 of Hunter Reynolds.
This first group going to get on pit road cleanly. A little bit of brake lockup, but everyone does make it into pit lane. Logan Helton in the 63, assuming the race lead. In the 51 of TJ Elliott, Tyler Miller in the 24. Those are your top 3 right now.
I assume that we might see some more takers this time on pit road. That looked like to be the Ford Brigade coming down pit road. John McCarrick, Hunter Reynolds coming off pit road 1-2. Sebastian Marin also coming down that last time. Now they come off turn number 4 with just 25 laps to go. And more and more cars coming down, the good 12, 15 cars headed to pit road.
Once again, everyone on the pit road cleanly. A few brakes getting locked up, a little bit of beating and banging as they try to make their way into their pit stalls. But no caution, and we're down to 24 laps to go.
Everybody doing a good job getting on and off of pit road. John McCarrick back on pit road. KR looked like maybe a stop and go penalty for the driver of the number 50.
Logan
Or he
Helton.
could just be making things up.
Yeah, it could happen. Logan Helton, your race leader, and now he's going to bring everyone else onto pit road. Gabe Butler in the 88, very aggressive entry on the pit lane. He had them locked up hard. We'll see if he's going to end up with a speeding penalty. I believe he was coming in a bit too hot.
Yeah, very hot. And meanwhile, Hunter Reynolds has the back bumper full of the Nexus number 23 of Sebastian Marin, as they should cycle around to be your race leader. They have opened up a good 10-length gap over the number 24, Tyler Miller and Randall Cobb. They have really opened it out there, and they could be sitting ducks once the field gets stacked back up. Will they have too much of a gap there to really hold off the advances from the pack behind them?
I think these two will be all right. They might get swallowed up a little bit, but nothing too bad. I do want to point out, Gabe Butler, no speeding penalty. So a very aggressive entry on pit road. He did get it slowed down.
Hey, Liberty Fire's checking in. Glad to have him back on the chat. How you doing tonight?
Logan Helton and Gabe Butler both going to get passed by Hunter Reynolds and Sebastian Marin. 63 and the 88 do get up to speed, and so they're not going to get swallowed up quite as bad as I thought they might. But now this group goes from a 2-car to a 4-car to, well, now we got a pack.
Yeah, pretty interesting there. And how about that? I thought that Hunter Reynolds and Sebastian Marin would be way out front. Great pit road attack from the 88 of Butler and the 63 of Helton. And they come right out running in that 2 and 4 position right now, respectfully. And Butler not getting a pit road penalty there, KR. And that was a very hard attack coming to pit road.
It was one of the drivers who spent a lot of time on pit road. That was the 51 of TJ Elliott. Looks like a 4-tire stop for Elliott. and he is well down the running order. He had been up at the front, and now he has found himself in 33rd spot with 21 laps to go.
Don't count him out, though. That car has had plenty of speed. So he has lost the main pack. He's back there with the 50 of McCarrick and the 35 of Doug Rice. So those three cars goes to tail, trying to catch back up to the pack with just 21 laps to go.
35 cars on the lead lap. One car, one lap down. That is Anthony English in the 44. And he had some trouble earlier. Not quite sure what happened to him, but it has put him a lap down. He is with the leaders, so he's got a good shot at getting back on the lead lap if the caution flag does come out. But man, he's got an uphill battle with 20 laps to go.
Definitely does here, and the way this race is looking, 20 laps to go, like you just said. A lot of comers and goers. Now Freese back up front with that 25 Kellex car. He's got Joe Della Vecchia with a 052 automobile. First time we've talked about Della Vecchia all night. That car been quietly running. Now finds himself inside the top 10 here in the closing stages of the Throwback 250.
And Della Vecchia winning the March 14th race back on St. Paddy's Day, locking himself into playoff contention, just looking to hit that 9 race minimum requirement, and then he will officially be locked in. That 052, kind of right where he qualified, but he has been running forward and back all night long.
He has new race leader Logan Helton has taken the race lead away from Sebastian Marion. They work it into turn number 3. Tyler Miller trying to work the outside. They got Randall Cobb, Dak Fritz in that 26, and Jeff Crosby Jr. working there to the outside line, really starting to get formed up, and we've seen it be the place to be. Kind of that middle to extreme outside is where you want to be. Seems to have some decent speed. Only 6 cars up there right now. Everybody else snaking around the bottom of the racetrack.
We ride on board with the 33 of Jeffrey Crosby. I'm not even saying Jeffrey correctly because it's not Jeffrey, it's Jeffrey.
I'll take your word.
I don't know. My word's not very good. Anyways, Al, I'll tell you what, we have had some great racing here tonight as they come around to make it 17 laps to go. This Throwback 250 has given us some outstanding paint schemes to look at. It has given us some outstanding talent behind the wheel to talk about. And we still have one more pit stop to go, I think.
Yeah, they're going to at least have to come down probably anytime they get below, I think, 15 to 13 laps to go. That would be when I would suspect we see some people trying to make it their last stop of the race. So we will see what will happen. But right now, Helton really showing the way up on the front of this one. It'll be the 24 of Miller trying to really work that outside line. He's got Randall Cobb pushing him. Oh, Cobb hard in the outside wall. Randall Cobb having issues. Everybody's scattering now as the green flag stays out as Cobb got hooked in hard contact with the outside retaining wall during the triangle. And now the yellow flag will come out. And that pit strategy out the window, as I believe we'll see everybody come down here as everybody got out of the gas for the 52 of Randall Cobb.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened to the 52 of Randall Cobb. You said he got hooked. Let's take a look at it here. Dak Fritz, Cobb, heavy contact, and Cody over in the 8. The 7 of Josh Milam all taking evasive action. Oh, we're giving a little shot to the bumper of the 52. They're making their way down the front stretch.
Thank God Milo's splitter didn't get ripped off.
But yeah, everyone able to keep going. So the caution coming out for a little bit of debris that was left on the track from all the hard impacts to the outside wall.
Yeah, definitely had to throw out there, not safe to come back around under full throttle situation. So the safety crew out onto the racetrack to pick up the debris.
Debris.
We will. Yes, that's what I call it.
That's fine.
Less debris, the better.
Right? Debris is fine though.
It is. But Logan Helton showing the way. Sebastian Marion second. Third is Hunter Reynolds. Fourth, Tyler Miller. And Jeff Crosby runs in your top 5. And let's see if we get some takers on pit road. They pit now. KR, by quick math, says they should be able to make it the rest of the distance. Not sure about any overtime.
I think they'll be all right with the one attempt at a green, white checkered. You can save some fuel here. You still got your to the end of this caution. You still got another lap or two, and then yeah, I think everyone should be all right.
The free pass going to go to the 44 of Anthony English. That'll put 36 cars back on the lead lap. With those 3 cars out of the race, David Overstreet, Seth Groover, and Bob Lacavera, 37th, 38th, 39 respectfully. They will be back at it in 1 week's time. 1 week's time, where are we going to be, KR? That's going to be down at the Daytona International Speedway for the Bumpy Road 250. 100 laps of racing coming at you for the Daytona International Speedway next Monday night, April 4th.
Yeah, we will be on the Bumpy Road 250, that legacy Daytona track. It is a very rough race as far as the cars on the track, and it's always an exciting one to watch because you never know which way the cars are going to dart when they land.
Are they like darts without feathers?
Sometimes.
And it's already narrow enough as it is.
It is fairly narrow.
Who you got taking the win here tonight? 14 laps to go, KR. So let's ask the drivers out, or the people in the chat, who they think is going to win tonight.
I like to ask who chat thinks is going to win. I know I'm going to be in victory lane, so that's all I can say.
You just like to go down there and get sprayed by the Gatorade. Don't you try to fool anybody.
Well, it is half the fun. In fact, it's all the fun. Oh,
I was gonna say, so that's some of the fun.
All the fun getting sprayed by the Gatorade.
Well, if you're in victory lane with Ross Chastain, you get watermelon.
You do get watermeloned. Yes, sir.
Can you imagine? I wonder if he grew up. I know he's a watermelon farmer, but I wonder if he grew up a Gallagher fan. And I'm really dating myself now with talking about Gallagher.
Well,
you know who Gallagher is?
Yeah. It's a fair question. It's a fair question. All right, so Liberty Fire's coming in. He's going with the Bears. Once again, some of our watching audience, not too bright. The Bears are a football team, Liberty Fires. I'm sure you knew this. I don't know why you would vote for the Bears in a race.
We're not even in Chicago.
We're not even in Chicago. We're in Talladega, which is closer to Florida than Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good grief. Well, at least the lights are out. We're going to get 12 laps to go when the green flag comes back on.
On the pace car or in the head? Both?
Rather not say.
All right, we'll be nice.
Rather not say. But we are going to have 12 laps to go when the green flag comes back out. OMG.
12 laps. The pay window's starting to get greased up. A spot in the championship on the line. I don't know what to think.
I don't either. Front row made up of drivers who are looking for their first win this season. They come in running 1 and 2 in point accumulation. Sebastian Barron and Logan Helton on the front row. Hunter Reynolds in the 26 and the 88 of Gabe Butler for row number 2. Then it's Jeff Crosby and Tyler Miller for third row on this restart. Oh my goodness.
A lot of hungry drivers up on the front of this one. Pace car down and away. They'll run the very slow 65 miles an hour into the restart zone. In the throwback 250, we'll have 12 laps to go to settle this one out. If you're in your seat, get on the edge, stand up on your feet. Green flag is back out. As the drivers will get up through the gearbox, 4 gears in these Xfinity style race cars. And they are already jostling for position. Kevin Freed's going to go from the inside to the outside, right behind the 24 of Tyler Miller. Miller getting to the backside of Butler, who's pushing there, and is Hunter Reynolds trying to get Logan Helton going up to the bottom on the inside line. They've got Crosby as well. Into Alex Green, and that number 3. And number 3 does some famous things here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Can Alex Green get it done here tonight? And at number 3.
Alex Green in the number 3, still working his way forward all night long. March has been steady. But Logan Helton in the 63, going to get interviewed by Bill Swirsky and the rest of the Bears if he wins this one.
That third line starting to get hooked up there. The 25 of Freeze and Joey Delavecchia working the extreme outside. Here comes Kevin Freets and that number 12 working the middle of that racetrack as well. The 2 of J.D. Crow working the third lane. J.D. Crow really likes to work that third line. Now Gabe Butler has gone to the outside. They're going to be 3 wide. We come into 10 laps to go here in the Throwback 250. They are 3x3, second place on back, and Hunter Reynolds starting to work all 3 lines. A little bit of contact here between himself and Logan Helton.
Hunter Reynolds in the 26 getting a good shove by Logan Helton, and Helton going to push him all the way to turn number 1. 3 wide racing into turn number 1. Fastest lap of the race, Randall Cobb with a 49.19 in that Buck Wild 52.
Is that 5th car on the outside line is being pushed out to the front is Gabe Butler. He's got the Freese number 25 giving him a good shove as they are 3x3 side drafting each other. Something's gonna give. Here comes the 62 of Levy to the inside. Les Levy trying to make his way towards the front. Dave Hunt back there right behind him, along with stage 2 winner, the Rob Connors. Also right there that lead is Hunter Reynolds leads it with 9 more circuits around the Talladega Superspeedway.
Logan Helton slicing down in the inside just ahead of the 33 of Crosby. He's going to make the pass for the race lead on Hunter Reynolds in the 26. That inside line gets surge of momentum right down there along the yellow stripe. The 33 trying to push the 63 as far ahead as he can, starting to pack that group a little bit tighter as everyone's giving a little less room.
Yeah, the 1 car out of shape, in trouble. The 25 of Freese going around. No, it's the number 12, excuse me, going around in front of the field. It is the 12. Has gone around the 071. A lorry going to slide through the grass, mowing it up with the John Deere 071. But that was bad there. Zach Fritz has gone around in that Budweiser can, all smashed up, smoke bellowing from the number 12 as we are underneath the yellow flag with just 8 laps to go.
Let's back this up and take a look and see the 12 of Zach Fritz going to connect with the 00 of Connors. Cody Ober going around. Rick Searan's getting involved. McCarrick in the 50. See if we can go on aboard here with Sean Stevens as he goes through the grass to avoid a big old kerfuffle in front of him. He is able to hold on to it. Take a couple more looks at this one. Zach Fritz found himself out of shape.
Hard contact with the 50 and McCarrick at the end of that one as well, to the front of the number 12, and there's nowhere to go.
All right, so yellow flag back into the air. Gonna have 7 laps to go this time around. Oh man, Al, I don't know about you, but I think I need to refill my water bottle. So we're gonna step away for a quick little break. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
You wanted the best, you got him 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the drivers are lined up side by side. We get ready to fire them off with 5 laps to go here in this Throwback 250. When the green flag comes out, your front row made up of Logan Helton and Hunter Reynolds. Row number 2 will be the 33 of Jeff Crosby and the 23 of Sebastian Marin. And our third row for the restart, the 3 of Alex Green and the 24 of Tyler Miller. Lights are out on the safety vehicle, so it will head for pit road. Al, I don't know how you have a recall or repair a vehicle that is a combination of every single manufacturer known to man.
I don't know. But it's going off the racetrack, so we ain't got to worry about it.
It gone. All right, here we go. Down through the tri-oval. We're going to let these guys loose. We got some brake lock up towards the tail of this field. Logan Helton and Hunter Reynolds in control of that long wait for the green flag. And there it is. Green flag is out. And we have 5 laps to go here in race number 5 tonight. Sorry, race number 6.
Now, race number 6 of the first opening round here. One car out of shape. That was the 7 of Josh Milam, able to get it back under control. Everybody jostling, trying to make up some ground. We had some takers on pit road, just in case they were going to need that as they work down the back stretch. It is Hunter Reynolds in some tidbits in the chat. Hunter Reynolds' last win on Monday night's chaos dates all the way back to June 14th, 2021.
A long spell for the 26th not being in victory lane. That doesn't mean that he hasn't been running up front. Hunter Reynolds in the 26th, finding himself up front right now, battling with Logan Helton and Sebastian Marin.
Sebastian Marin trying to get his first win of the season, as well first win on a Monday night for that young driver, rookie this season. Work right there behind the 63 of Logan Helton. Those two drivers worked well together, but how about Jeffrey Crosby working up there in that Swole Bandit 33 to the back side of Hunter Reynolds as they enter turn number 3.
Crosby looking for his first ever win in OP on Monday night, along with the 23 of Sebastian Marin. Alex Green hasn't been to victory lane since the very first season of OP racing. That was all the way back, I believe, in 2019.
A lot of hungry drivers up on the front of this one. The outside line starting to work. One of the fastest cars all night long. The 40 of Peter DeBorgia starting to work the outside. He's pushing that Guinness number 88 to the front. That is Gabe Butler. 3 by 3, 3 rows deep they go with just 3 laps to go. It is going to get wild here as they're going to get the rabbit ears this time off turn number 4 and they get to the dry oval. There'll be 2 laps to go. Just over 5 miles here tonight at the Talladega Superspeedway. Left in the Throwback 250.
Meteor Racing teammates up in the 3rd lane, the 88 and the 40 pushing on each other. You said the rabbit ears. Well, they got to it, and now we have 1 more lap to go before the white flag comes out. That is important because if the white flag comes out, we're going to finish this race under its regularly scheduled programming. They have got to get back around, and right now they are making their way down the backstretch. The 63 of Logan Helton, the 88 of Gabe Butler running very close to each other. Butler trying to pinch off that 63. He wants to stay as tight to that door as he dares, and he dared to be a little close there, but now they are making their way onto the front stretch. The flagman firmly gripping the white flag through the tri-oval. Here they come, white flag in the air, and we are going to go 1 more time around.
Final trip around the Talladega Superspeedway in the turn row, and still 3 by 3. Hunter Reynolds getting a good push from Crosby. He'll scoot that Reynolds wrap out in the front of this one. Logan Helton runs the middle lane. Here comes DeBorgia with a good run off the corner. Reynolds jumps up to that middle lane to block the momentum. Gabe Butler, though, with a good push by DeBorgia in the turn number 3 for the final time. It is Butler versus Reynolds. Helton with a good shot now, cut down to the inside. Logan Helton's going to go to the bottom side of the racetrack. Off of turn number 4 they come. Sebastian Marion gets turned sideways.
Marion in trouble. Logan Helton going to use this to break away. Logan Helton through the tribal. He is headed for the start-finish line. Trouble behind them, and Logan Helton is going to win. Jeff Crosby brings it home in second, and Gabe Butler in third, as there was a huge crash coming to the start-finish line.
Oh, somebody bring the body bags. Ooh, that was bad. But Logan Helton, KR, taking it that we've seen it all race long, being aggressive on the lane changes, does it, takes out Hunter Reynolds, gets to the inside, and will come home picking up his first win of the season, locking himself in to the playoffs here unofficially at the Talladega Superspeedway.
You mentioned get the body bag. I think we need to get one for the 62 of Wes Levy. That car mincemeat the driver inside of it as he was spinning like a top, tumbling like a helicopter. And man, a lot of cars got torn up after the checkered flag.
It all started back there. It looked like the 21 of Holloway, but man, talk about some hard hits there coming to the line. At that point, keep your foot in it, right, KR?
Yeah, you gotta keep your foot in it and just hope you come away either with the checkered flag or the steering wheel. But let's kick this post-race show off, and let's get started by talking to our race winner. And Al, you caught up with our race winner as he celebrates.
Yeah, we're down here on the front stretch, riding along with the 63 of Logan Helton. And Logan, we just talk about how aggressive you were on the lane changes. How did you have faith in that car not to lose control? And it works out for you coming home, getting that big win here tonight, locking yourself into the playoffs.
Well, I always tell my team and my friends that I think the reason why I have a little more car control than some other people is just because might sound weird. I purposely wreck myself there in practice and see how well I can save it. So I know that whenever I'm in the race, no matter what situation I'm in, I know exactly how the car is going to react, and I can I just know the steering angle it needs to correct itself, and the throttle and brake inputs that I need to fix any problem I have during the race.
So that's a very smart outlook, and especially do that in practice here. But tonight, started on the outside pole, had a great race, great speed all race long, working well with your teammates here. You're going to come home with the win. But talk us through this race. A lot of action, 3 wide, and a lot of pushing and shoving coming towards the end of this one.
Yeah, it was getting very aggressive late. I was kind of just chilling out for most of the race just because I accidentally missed the start. I was too busy just thinking about the race at the beginning that I forgot to click the grid button, and I missed the start. So I was kind of just stuck in the back the whole race. I really wanted to get more stage points, but I guess the positive way to look at it is maybe me staying in the back a lot of this race kept me out of a lot of the trouble we had. So I was able to come home still with the faster pair in the pits and with no incident points this race. So I'm happy about that. Towards the end there, that was probably one of the most fun finishes I've had in a long time in OP on Monday nights. It was just so much fun. A lot of lane changes, like you said, very aggressive lane changes, and that's the type of races that I really enjoy. Whenever we're all just going for it, and I know that no one's holding back. So that was just a ton of fun there.
Well, you definitely put on a show here for us up in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth here at the Talladega Superspeedway, and you're locked yourself in. Next week, we head to the Legacy Daytona. That track is bumpy and narrow. What kind of racing do you think we can expect to see down there at Daytona next week?
Well, I'd like to say it's going to be a lot of green flag racing because that's whenever I love racing at bumpy Daytona. But I'm afraid we might get a couple of cautions. But maybe we'll maybe a little surprise everyone next week when we get some good green flag racing. I really like that track. It's really high side centered. The high side is a strong lane, so it's really fun to go there and see how well you can try and manipulate the lanes to work in your favor. I'd say right now, like, I feel confident that I can do that, but I know racing with Josh next week at that track, that's where he wins a lot of his races. So it's going to be hard to compete with him, Josh Milam, that is. So I'm excited to see how it happens. Now that I know I'm locked in the playoffs, I don't necessarily have to worry so much about just finishing every week or finishing a top 10 every week. I can kind of start to be a little bit more aggressive and see if I can get take some more risks to get some more bonus points to maybe take the regular season championship again.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Up here, I get to watch. I'm not down there white knuckle it like you guys are, but who makes it all possible on this 63 to park it in victory lane?
Well, first, no one would be able to see this 63 if it wasn't for Turn 3 Racing Network, broadcasting every single race on Monday nights. So I appreciate you guys a whole lot. I'd also like to thank everyone over at OP that makes these races happen. Again, there would be no 63 to see if it wasn't for them. And also, there wouldn't be any paint scheme on this 63 if it wasn't for Splash and Go Graphics. Thanks to them, we got this beautiful throwback paint scheme for tonight's throwback race. And and also thanks to Nexus Esports for being on the car. I'd like to thank Lions Motorsports for being my teammates this race. And thanks to my friends and family for watching. And the pizza I had before the race, my good luck charm.
Always have to have a good luck charm before the race, and pizza sounds like a good one to have. Well, congratulations on this win, Logan. We hopefully will be talking to you in 1 week's time down at the Daytona International Speedway. Until then, keep it rubber side down, and we'll see you at the next one.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's tonight's feature, or the Throwback 250 winner, Logan Helton, KR, and I believe you have caught up with our second place finisher, the driver of that number 33.
I have caught up with the driver of the 33, and that is none other than Jeffrey Crosby in that beautifully painted race car. Jeff, how you doing out there tonight?
I'm still trying to wind down, but doing pretty well. How about you guys?
I'll tell you what, it was a heck of a race here at Talladega, and this 33 machine really kind of snuck in there at the end into the top three. But it doesn't mean that that car wasn't fast. You were just sitting on the outside of that top three for most of this race.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I got caught up in a wreck early on, and I used my fast repair, so I was just kind of keeping it cool and keeping it clean for the last 35 laps, and just decided to make a run, and thankfully kept it clean and able to bring home a second place finish.
Well, man, a solid second place finish here tonight. That School Bandit 33 machine got that red paint scheme on it here tonight. Throwback 250. What's this a throwback to?
Honestly, I just got back from Houston this week, and I totally did not check that it was the throwback race. So definitely gonna have to make that up and run the green paint scheme maybe next week. And yeah, but the Skull Bandit, always like using this type of scheme. We have different colors this season, and we're going to continue to keep bringing them out.
All right, man. Well, the car looks good and great here on the second step of the podium. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
For sure. I want to thank you guys up in the booth. You guys always do a wonderful job. And then got my teammates, Zach, Tyler, Anthony, and Travis. It was unfortunate that we couldn't really work as much together. I think Travis, Zach, and Tyler, majority of the race were working together. We need to get Anthony back up there. So other than that, everybody else that's watching, we appreciate you, and hope you guys had fun.
All right, man. Well, nice job out there. Once again, congratulations on second place.
Thank you, sir.
That was Jeff Crosby, our second place finisher. Now, Al, you've caught up with our third place driver here tonight.
I have caught up with the driver, that number 88 of Gabe Butler, and Gabe coming up 2 spots shy, but man, this car was a rocket ship here tonight. What did you need in the closing laps here to get up there and be in victory lane?
Just a bit more luck, but I mean, I'm real happy with P3. I got a great push from my teammate Peter there. So, I mean, I'll take P3 all day long in this group.
Yeah, talk about we're watching up here. For me, not being so much of a super speedway guy, getting my feet wet watching you guys. You guys put on an amazing show, a lot of car control out there. How nerve-wracking is it actually behind the wheel, being 3 wide at 190 plus miles an hour and doing it cleanly? The side drafting, the bumping, and just the sheer speeds of the runs you have, and knowing how to do that. It has to be nerve-wracking here for 94 laps.
That is a little bit, but a lot of us are used to it. I mean, but it does take your full concentration. I mean, literally, if you look off to the right or left, you can lose it in a nanosecond. So, I mean, you've got to keep your mind on the game the whole time and be aware of where you are, who's around you, and try and anticipate what's coming. So there's a lot that goes into the super speedway race, and it's more than just, you know, going 190 miles an hour around an oval. I mean, there's a lot to it. So, but it's a blast. I love it.
It definitely is a lot of fun to watch. I'm sure it's even more fun behind the wheel of these race cars. But next week we are headed to the Legacy Daytona International Speedway, the bumpy 250 next week. We're going to go from this very wide to more of a narrow super speedway. How's the outlook for you and your race team headed into Daytona?
We're starting to get a little bit better at it. I mean, but you always avoid or anticipate a bit of narrowness there, and you know, you really talk about concentrating here. You really got to concentrate there with the bumps in the track, and you got to bring your A game to get a result at the Legacy Daytona. But we're looking forward to it, so hopefully it'll be a blast.
Well, you definitely did a great job here tonight. Next week, hopefully we'll be able to talk to you a couple spots higher, right back here, right on the podium. It's always a good points night overall when we get to talk to you here. But before we let you go, we'll roll the red carpet out. And who made it all possible for this number 88 to be up here on the podium? Hit the Throwback 250.
Big shout out to my teammates, Meteor Racing. Guys did a great job tonight. Some of them got a little bit unlucky, got a massive push there at the end from teammate Peter. And shout out to OP for putting this on, and for you guys for broadcasting the big show. It's always a blast to go back and watch it.
Well, congratulations, Gabe, on your third place finish here tonight. And we hope to talk to you next week at the Daytona International Speedway.
All right, my friend. Thank you.
There you have it. That's your third place finisher, Gabe Butler. And that will wrap up our post-race interviews where Logan Helton picked up the win, KR. And that was one exciting race here at the Talladega Superspeedway. It was more than what it was talked up to be. And I wish it was Monday tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. They're going to put on a heck of a show next Monday night as they get ready for the bumpy road 250. But let's go ahead and wrap this one up by going into our finishing results. Logan Helton picks up his first win of the season. Jeff Crosby, second place, a solid run for the 33. Gabe Butler, your final step of the podium. Then it's Hunter Reynolds in fourth, and Peter DeBorgia rounding out your top five.
Team Bootnaka's Joey Delavecchia will come home sixth. Jim Mayer, seventh. Travis Elliott will come home eighth. Cody Eldridge, the driver out of New York in the privateer number 14, will come home ninth. And Mark Mann, the Alliance Motorsports, will round out your top 10.
11th goes to Sean Stevens, JD Crow 12th, 13th Dan Harrington, 14th Jimmy Reynolds. Les Levy is going to end up in 15th spot.
The Meteor Racing 19, Zach Workman will come home 16th. 17th to Jeremy Funk. Dave Hunt and the Buck Wild Racing number 53 will come home 18th. 19th is Sebastian Marin, and Alex Green with the ARC Racing number 3 will round out your top 20.
21st goes to Rick Searams, Doug Rice 22nd, 23rd Kevin Freese, Tyler Miller 24th, and Eric Laurie in 25th spot.
Anthony English will come home 26th. 27th will go to Cody Ober. David Booth 28th. Dustin Barber 29th, and Zach Fritz will round out the top 30.
Randall Cobb 31st, 32nd Rob Connors, 33rd Andy Regante, 34th Josh Milam, Daniel Holloway finishing in 35th.
36 will go to Sean McCarrick, the last car on the racetrack on the lead lap. All 36 cars on the lead lap. Add that. David Overstreet will be the first car out of the race in 37th. Seth Groover and Bob Lacavera will make up the 39 car field here tonight. And a tough break for those three drivers, unable to see the checkered flag from the racetrack, but they will be back at it in 1 week's time. KR, 39 drivers tonight. We expect them all to be back next week as we head to the high banks of Daytona International Speedway.
That we do, and we hope to see you all there as well. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good night, stay safe, and we'll see you next week.